So we created something called a split cycle engine, which is one of the most efficient engines in the world, also extremely clean. So what we've done is we separated the compression and the expansion process into two separate cylinders. And by doing that, that makes the engine a lot more efficient, and it also changes how the fuel burns and makes it extremely clean as well. So we've been working for a number of years with Ricardo, and last year they formed a separate company called Dolphin, which was bought before Christmas by Fiat powertrain, who are now taking the technology to market. We've been working on the technology for quite a few years now, but now a major truck manufacturer, this is one of the largest manufacturers of truck engines in the world, has now basically decided to buy the technology and take it to market and put it in all their vehicles. We had two separate projects. So we had the project on the split cycle engine, which we knew was efficient, and we were proving that in the lab. And at the same time, we were looking at how do we make an internal combustion engine fundamentally zero emissions. And we realised, we had this light bulb moment, we realised that the fundamental characteristics you need is what we had in the split cycle engine. And we tested that in the lab, and we realised we demonstrated we could get very, very low levels of NOx emissions and high efficiency at the same time. It has two environmental impacts. There's obviously, quite right, a lot of concern over toxic gas emissions in cities, so things like NOx and particulate emissions. And this engine offers extremely low levels of emissions to the point where you would be almost immeasurable over the background emissions in the city, so it has significant improvements in air quality. Perhaps more importantly is in reducing carbon emissions for concerns over climate change. So yeah, we're transitioning towards electrification of personal transport, so in cars and things, and that's progressing quickly. There was an announcement the other day from the government to accelerate that, which is a good thing. But when you've got vehicles that are working hard, so agricultural vehicles, trucks, even ships, then the energy density, how much energy you can get into a battery, it's just not enough for those applications. And we're not seeing any technologies coming through from the batteries which would be suitable for a long-range truck or a ship. So we're back to some form of chemical-based fuel and a means of converting that into useful energy, and that's really what this technology is. New technology always costs a bit more, but this is really a bit more than a diesel engine. But what's more important, especially in these commercial vehicle markets, is how quickly the operator would recover their costs. And this technology would recover the costs in less than 2 years. It's a really significant step. We believe this is a clear solution, and in some ways the fact that a major truck manufacturer has just bought the company just demonstrates the significance this could have.